I usually have these talks by myself, but I decided, fuck it. Why not just say it on video since it's kind of related to this anyway? I often feel like I'm at a crossroads, like in terms of like what I actually want to do. Like I want to make content, right? But I also don't want to just make content for the sake of it. And I know that these past few months, like whenever I've uploaded, has always just been me rambling about my thoughts, which is not necessarily the worst thing. But like, if I'm being honest, the type of content that I wish to make is more creative. But I also understand, like, with me, and I've said this before in a video, like I have like a perfectionism thing. So if I don't have the right um conditions, and not even just conditions, it's also just laziness and um the paralysis to start, because it's like, oh, like I want it to be a certain way, and then because I want it to be a certain way and I know it takes a long time, I just don't. But I also am aware that's paradoxical, because I know that if I just start, I'd probably get like quite a bit done. But I'm also just afraid of committing. So I guess that's my issue. But I also like worry that, and this is, I guess, a bigger issue for me, is that um when I set expectations for myself, it no longer becomes an expectation, in the sense that usually expectations are something you follow not as a dogma but as a frame of reference. But for me, it becomes a standard. And the issue with that is like, okay, if I feel like, okay, I need to get this done, and then it becomes a thing that I obsess over in my head and I ruminate over, and then when push comes to shove, I end up not doing anything, because it's like, okay, I want this to be perfect. And that is my issue, because the way I envision it, I don't think I can achieve, but I also think I can achieve. So I want to wait for the perfect conditions. But the thing is that whenever I've done the best in any facet of life, it's always been when I just acted without expectation. But then it becomes like a reoccurring, like for example with gym. When I first started gym, I didn't really have expectations. But then, like I did, like actually that's a lie. I did. When I first started gym, I did. But then when I after a few years of not like doing anything, when I actually was like, okay, let me just do whatever. And then when that was when I didn't have expectations, and that's when I had the most progress. But then after a while, when that became my new standard, now that I, like when I got injured and then didn't work out for a while, whenever I try to go back to gym, I'm always thinking, oh, like this is where I used to be and I should be that way, when I know that is so antithetical, and I should just do things and just start. But like my expectations for myself has superseded, so I no longer want to be baseline. Like I want to be at my baseline of when I was at my best, even though I should just focus on improving my baseline at the current self. But anyway, this is just me rambling. I'm just putting my thoughts out loud. But yeah.